Alright, today we're going to be dealing with some of these issues that are going on in the Scion. I don't know if we're going to resolve them all today, but I at least want to knock out what I can.
The truth.
I'm going to be doing a lot of work to the Scion. I want to change the oil, change spark plugs, air filters, all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to start by checking the codes that are on the dash up here. I know you don't see them right now because the car's off. But I'm going to start with that and go from there and see what else we need to fix. Turn on the car. I've got my King Bolin code reader. So we're going to plug that into the Scion and see what the heck this thing says. Alright, let's go through and see what this thing has to say. Evap system, incorrect purge flow. Sometimes these can be set off with the... Can I go to the second one? Large leak in the evap system. Sometimes these are the gas cap. So let's actually check the gas cap and see if that's going to solve our problem and go from there. Oh, look at that gasket. That very well could be our problem, is it's not sealing well. And there's a whole lot of hair. That's just disgusting. But yeah, let's get a new gas cap, and we're also going to get a few other maintenance parts. Like, we're going to do an oil change, air filter change, all that kind of good stuff. Figured while we're in here doing general maintenance stuff, we might as well take care of all that as well. But, yeah, first things first, let's get a new gas cap. That's just nasty. Ugh, it's like, oh, the gasket's just falling right off. Look at that. Yeah. Ugh. Alright, yeah, let's get a new one of those. Alright, now we made it to the parts store. Let's go inside and get what we need. Alright, made it back home. Let's get these parts on the Scion. Alright, so we just got back from the parts store. And this is the part number for it if you get the motor red one like I did. And looks like I left the gas cap open the whole time we were gone. Oh well. I don't think anybody's going to try and steal the gas out of this thing. But let's get this new one unboxed really quick. There it goes. Hey, look at that. The O-ring's right where it should be. Let's go ahead and get this one off and then put this one on. Actually, we'll put this one on really quick and then we'll get the old one off. Make sure this fits. There it goes. Alright, let's get this old one off here. I think I'm just going to take the whole thing off of here. I may need side cutters to get that all the way off. Oh, nope, there it goes. Never mind. It just literally fell right off of there. Shows you the quality of that. Alright, we're going to clear our code and then run it for a bit and see if that code comes back. Alright, let's start up the Scion and see if our check engine light comes back. So far, as of right now, it's gone. We'll let it run for a little while and see if it comes back. I did pick up stuff for an oil change. It's at 239,000 miles right now. And I noticed when I was cleaning the interior the other day, and it's 235, so that's 4,000 miles ago. I'm just going to go ahead and change it. I just bought a regular, I think it was a synthetic blend for oil. And then I got a new oil filter. I got an air filter, cabin air filter, which goes up under there. I got new spark plugs for this thing too. Just kind of a general tune-up. And then we'll take it around the block, see how well it drives and all that kind of good stuff. Alright, so it's been running for a bit and I just went through all three of these. And it's not showing any codes right now. Alright, I'm really going to quick change out the cabin air filter. I'm going to do a more detailed video on this as well. But this is the part number for the cabin air filter. So let's get it changed out really quick on the Scion. And there we go. Our cabin air filter's in. You'll see the full video on my channel here soon. So next thing on the general maintenance, after I already did the cabin air filter, I'm going to be doing the regular air filter for the engine as well, along with oil change and spark plugs. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get the hood open and start changing that out. Alright, that was another quick, easy repair. Next, let's move on to doing the spark plugs on this car. Alright, so full videos coming out on how to change the spark plugs. Keep an eye out for it on the channel. So I just got done changing out the spark plugs, and the engine revs so freely now. Before, it shook a lot when I went to go rev it up a little bit and everything like that. Now it's just buttery smooth. But let's keep making some more repairs to this thing. About 4,000 miles, I think, since the oil change, so it definitely needs to be done. Alright, that wraps up our oil change. I'm just going to check the rest of the fluids. Looks like you got brake fluid here. Power steering fluid's down there, which I know is empty. We got transmission fluid right here. We're going to check that one while the car is running. And obviously washer fluid is empty. Radiator cap is right under here. It's a bit warm from when I was running the engine, letting the oil get all around, so I might wait for last on that one, but I want to make sure that's full as well. And I want to check my water levels in the battery, and I actually want to clean up this nastiness right here. So let's do that really quick. Alright, so while I was up underneath here, I noticed that this pump is leaking. You can see it on my finger a bit. This is the air conditioner pump. I know the power steering, which is back up in here, doesn't work at the moment. I don't know if it's the pump or the reservoir or what's going on with that one. I'll have to figure that out. But I was going to change out the belts, but I think I'm going to hold off for another day to do those because I may be leaking power steering fluid all over the belts and everything. So that'll be a job for another day, doing the belts, and I'll probably do the pump at the same time. But I really want to look into what's causing all this. I think next video I'll do, I don't know if it'll be the next one you guys see or not, is me cleaning out the engine bay really good. And probably exterior of the car. And yeah, figuring out what the source of some of these leaks are. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see the power steering lines right back here. Really wet. So I'll be investigating that. Alright, well, I've got the front end of the car up in the air. I want to check out these front brakes really quick too. So I'm going to take the hubcap off and the lug nuts and the wheel off really quick just to look at the brake pads. Alright, so I hit it a few times with Thor's hammer here, and it's not moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some brake clean all up in there. Hopefully it'll loosen something up. And I can get this wheel off to check the brakes. As God only knows last time this wheel came off and those brakes were even checked. Alright, took a few good hits, but it's finally free. These rotors are rusted really bad. And I don't know how well you can see the pads in there. They are pretty worn out. See if I can zoom in for you. But yeah, there's not much room in there. So, looks like I'll be ordering a set of pads and probably rotors as well, just to get a fresh set on here, because these are quite nasty. And I'd rather have a good clean set. I'll probably order a nice cheap set of rotors for this thing. I'm just gonna look at the rears really quick. I'm gonna have to jack up the rear end of the car. Looks like it's got drum brakes on the rear, so I might leave them alone for now. I really hate drum brakes. I'm kind of glad most car companies got away from those and went to just rotors all the way around, but you'll still find some with drums. But what I'll probably do is I'll probably just order a front set, because majority of your stopping power comes from the front anyway. So this way your driver will be safe on a fresh set of pads and rotors. But now that we know, we can get those on order. For the time being, I'm going to throw the wheel back on, put the lug nuts back on and everything like that, and continue with checking general maintenance kind of stuff. Got one of these little handy dandy tire pressure gauges. I'm going to go around and check all 4 tires, make sure our pressure's good, and if I need to add any, I will. Alright, we can see our brake fluid level. It's right at the max mark, so that's good. It's probably actually overfilled, because I noticed that the pads are pretty worn down. So when we put new pads in there and expand the pistons, it's going to push that level up. And then, yeah, we're going to have a bit of too much fluid on our hands. But we'll take care of that when we get the new brake pads in and do the brake job. Again, I know the power steering fluid is empty. Yeah, it's 100% empty. Which does look like it's coming out of the top, maybe. I don't know how well you guys can see down in there. It's definitely been wet, but what we'll do is I'll probably top this off, and then after I clean up the engine bay and everything, I'll drive it around a bit and see where it's actually leaking from, and see if we can't figure out if it's the pump, if it's the reservoir, if it's just a cap, if it's a line. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. But we're definitely going to clean up this engine bay first, and I will, oh God, it is so nasty. And I will go ahead and top off the power steering fluid once I do that as well. But let's clean up this battery and check it really quick, and then we'll check our transmission fluid. Alright, when you're checking the fluid levels on these batteries, be careful not to get any of this battery acid on your hands. If you do, just be sure to wash your hands off. Don't do this with the cars running either, because you don't want it charging and you opening it up, because it does produce vapors. You don't want them to like explode in your face or anything like that. But looking down inside, at least these first 3 holes, I don't know how well you can see on the camera, but they're relatively full with acid / distilled water. So I'm going to check this back cover and make sure it's also the same, and go from there. Maybe if I can get it off. Oop, there it goes. Clean up the area around it really quick. Try to keep all the dirt and debris out of these holes the best you can. And honestly, they're relatively full too. That's a good sign. I may add a little bit more water to these two. They look a bit lower than all the others, but it's not terrible. So this battery should still be salvageable. I've had it on a trickle charger for a while now too, which I probably should have checked the fluid levels before I put the trickle charger on, but hindsight's always 20/20, and I wanted to be able to start the car whenever I wanted. But I'm going to put some distilled water in these two. Be sure to put distilled water in if you have to do this yourself. If you put like mineral water or anything like that, it creates like crystals inside of your battery, and it will cause the cells to short out and everything like that. So you want distilled water inside here. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is, instead of opening the hot radiator cap, I'm going to check the coolant right here in the reservoir. There it goes. And see if we got enough down inside there. I know it's really hard to see on the camera. It's really hard to see in person too. So I'm going to get a flashlight and shine it down in there. And see if we got enough. And if anything, I'll add some more. Because there's a line. I don't know how we can see. It's got a line that says full right there. But I cannot tell where the level's at the moment. So I'm going to shine the light down in here. It should illuminate that whole reservoir. And then we can see where our level's at. Alright, I did have to add a bit. Of course, I didn't grab my funnel, so I made a bit of a mess, spilling a little bit of it, but I'll wash it off here in just a sec. But it is to the full mark now. There it goes. Now it closed up. It is to the full mark now, so we're good to go. Next, I'm going to start the car, and we're going to check the transmission fluid. Alright, so the fluid level on the transmission was still good. So I'm happy with that. Our general checks are pretty much done. Like I said, next video, I'll probably be cleaning the whole engine bay here, getting all these leaves and stuff out of here. Be topping off that power steering fluid and see where our leak is coming from. See if our AC compressor is leaking oil or anything like that too. And yes, they do have oil in the compressors. If the compressor seals start to go out, it leaks an oil pretty much. Got a video coming out for changing the air filter. I've got a video coming out for changing spark plugs. You guys will see those soon enough. I know you saw them kind of earlier in the video as well, but the actual how-to videos will be coming out here soon. But for now, I'm going to get some brake pads ordered for the front and some rotors ordered for the front. And I'm going to go to the junkyard, try and find some stuff for the interior. And yeah, oh, I've got some headlights coming. I'll be doing a how-to on how to change out the actual headlights themselves. It's not terribly hard, but I figured they still need their own video. And then I've also got the rear hatch thing that came in the other day. So after I clean up the car itself, I'm going to be cleaning off this tape as well, because they thought this tape would be good on here to hold this hatch thing on, and it's not. So I want to peel that off. I want to clean that whole section really well. I'll be showing you how to change this out as well. So hope this video helped. If you have any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section below, and I'll try and answer them as soon as I can. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. If you like any of the background music that was in this video, check out the artist's SoundCloud. Link is in the description.